Waynesburg hosted their very first Food Truck Thursday.
A new smoothie place opened on High Street.
And a 130-year-old Pittsburgh bridal shop is closing her doors for good.
Welcome to Channel 14 News. I'm Adam Morgante.
And I'm Lindsey Stenger. 2 weeks ago, Waynesburg campus community was treated with hot dogs, sushi, and much, much more. Reporting from the GPAC parking lot, Micah Leith.
On Thursday, January 28th, Waynesburg University hosted its first Food Truck Thursday. Students could choose from a variety of foods ranging from hot dogs to sushi. According to students, the event gave them a chance to reconnect with the campus community.
I think it's a good catch-up of pace, having food trucks and things like that, because before coronavirus, we would get out, go in Johnson Commons and stuff like that, and we could have campus life kind of connect. And in the midst of coronavirus, having safety precautions and stuff like that, I think it's a really good way to connect students again.
One of the most popular items among students was the sushi.
I tried the sushi. Seems pretty good.
According to Dr. Sherry Payne, Vice President of Enrollment, students bought so much sushi that the vendor ran out and had to make more.
So Aladdin had contracted out with the sushi chef. She was scheduled to make a certain number of rolls, and when it came back that the students were just selling out so fast, we had her only contracted for a certain period of time. We had her stay the whole time and making extras. So, but the Aladdin staff was able to be flexible and accommodating.
According to Dr. Payne, the university was pleased with how successful the event was.
We were thrilled with the turnout. I think the day, the actual food truck sales, the use of the vouchers, I don't have the final figures yet, but expect them to be around $3,000.
This Thursday, there were 3 different vendors at the event. First vendor, Arizo, a restaurant with locations in Morgante, West Virginia, and Robinson, PA, sold hibachi and other Asian grill options. Street Eats, the second vendor, is based out of New Eagle, Pennsylvania, and sold foods including hot dogs, hamburgers, and pierogies. The third vendor was Aladdin, which sold sushi, hot chocolate bombs, and other items. In the future, Payne expects a greater variety of food trucks.
We are in talks for a taco truck to Topo, which is out of Mount Lebanon. We are in talks with a chicken truck.
According to Dr. Payne, there are a number of people that helped make the event a success.
President Lee is the one that really made this happen with a negotiation with Aladdin. So he was instrumental in getting this to campus. So kudos and lots of thanks to President Lee for doing this. The second acknowledgement is to the Hive, to the radio guys for coming last night. It certainly added a nice flair to the event and it felt festive.
Payne also thanked the Student Senate and Aladdin workers for their efforts in making the event a success. For WCTV, I'm Micah Leith.
Businesses, COVID relief can come in all different packages. This Valentine's Day brought a new local partnership combining wine and chocolate. WCTV's Rachel Pellegrino reports on the story.
It was just a tough year, a horrible year.
It all started with the first shutdown in March. Since then, non-essential businesses nationwide have been slammed with restrictions again and again and again. In the aftermath, franchises were unscathed, yet small businesses are a different story. Greene County is lined with small businesses all trying to make do after multiple pandemic closures. 5 Kids Candy is one of those businesses trying to find ways to stay open.
Just everybody's trying to do what they can when you own a business right now.
For 5 Kids Candy, this means finding ways to partner with other local businesses.
It just made sense. Chocolates and wine, Valentine's Day.
Thistleweight Vineyards and 5 Kids Candy have partnered in the past, but this year was their first time working together for Valentine's Day.
We have a wine pairing sheet, so it'll tell what chocolates will pair with what bottles of their wine.
For Greene County small businesses, these partnerships are
Imperative.
Because they affect the whole community.
It doesn't just affect me. I've chosen the products that I carry because they're companies that belong to friends of mine, companies that I care about, companies that I share the same values with. If I shut my door here, those little percentages of sales that I have directly affect them. So me closing my door doesn't just affect me, it affects 15 other small businesses.
As the vaccination begins to roll out, these businesses are feeling grateful and hopeful for the future.
I feel lucky that I'm still here when I know a lot of people aren't. There's a lot of businesses that are not here, and I feel, like I said, I feel grateful, blessed.
We're looking forward to this year. Hopefully the vaccination gets out and we're able to start having gatherings again at some point this year.
Reporting for WCTV, I'm Rachel Pellegrino. Happy Valentine's Day.
Despite small businesses struggling to remain open, a new business decided to open up the day before the second state closure. Rebecca Vaughn has more on the story.
For the past 2 months, something new has been brewing in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania.
After coming back to campus after winter break, Waynesburg University students noticed something new in their small community. Fresh smoothies, coffees, and fruit bowls started appearing on everyone's Instagram feeds as more students visited the new restaurant on West High Street. Fruition Bowls and Brews, a new local business dedicated to providing the healthiest meal options in Waynesburg.
We came up with the idea during quarantine. The first couple weeks of quarantine, I got shut down from my job immediately because I'm a hairdresser. So during that time, it was a scary time, so we were kind of just, filling up with vitamins, trying to be the healthiest versions of ourselves. And we realized there's nothing healthy to eat in Greene County at all.
Fruition offers a deal targeted at Waynesburg University students. Students who visit and show their WU student ID get a $1 off discount at the register at Fruition.
The name came from as you can see on our wall, the definition is to the making of fruit and to bring an idea to fruition. So that's kind of how it works either way, and it works for us.
Jetton says that she hopes that Fruition is an oasis for college students. According to Amanda Longstreth, that goal has been accomplished.
To have something so close to campus that's so healthy for students to go to, it really means a lot because it's fun to go off campus and try new things and to support a local business that caters to what students like and what's fun for us to try.
Fruition Smoothie Bowls and Smoothies offer students a tasty but healthy meal option.
My favorite smoothie is the Blue Magic smoothie. It has banana, mango, spirulina, which is a blue algae, which is really good for your digestive system. I would just have to say that we've been waiting for you guys to come, and we're excited that you're here. And I really hope that you guys try to get a little bit of an oasis from Waynesburg, and it's right down the street. So come on over.
For years, brides have been saying yes to the dress at a local bridal shop in Pittsburgh, but now that shop is shutting down for good. WCTV's Lindsey Stenger has the story.
You are set. Oh, thank you.
There's no telling how many customers here at Carlisle's have walked away with the dress of their dreams. The bridal shop has been in Jan's family for 5 generations.
I was 14 years old, so I was their stock girl.
Her great-great-grandmother used to hand-stitch every gown, every veil for every bride. That was more than a century ago.
It's a wonderful, very gratifying business to be in.
After being in business over 133 years, it's hard to believe that anything could break the bond between Carlisle's Bridal and local brides. But then, COVID hit.
The first couple weeks was awful.
Statewide revision meant less revenue for months, but overhead costs remained the same.
When I asked for the rent reduction, he said, well, I will move you to a different location. It'll be a smaller location. Well, I don't need it. I can't work in smaller.
So now Jan and her staff are preparing to say farewell.
Are you okay, honey? Yeah.
After so many years of turning fittings into forevers.
I feel very fortunate that I can make girls happy.
Happy memories that will hopefully live on after Carlisle's has closed. For WCTV News, I'm Lindsey Stenger.
That's all we have for region and campus news. When we come back, we'll have news from around the nation. Don't go anywhere. Icy roads, power outages, and dangerously low temperatures. Millions of people across the country have seen Mother Nature's worst up close. But even as the storm moves northeast, its impact is still being felt in a big way. As Britt Conway reports, the winter blowout is taking a hit on the vaccine rollout.
From Texas,
it's insane. I never seen nothing like this.
To Illinois.
This is a little bit of a shock.
Severe winter weather is ripping across the country, and as the ice and snow pile up, so do delays to get vaccinated. In Missouri, COVID-19 mass vaccination events across the state have been canceled for the rest of the week to keep people from waiting out in the brutal cold and off the roads. Vaccination sites in Alabama and Georgia are temporarily closed too. Same goes for Kentucky.
This weather is going to slow down our vaccinations some. There's simply going to be too much snow.
And they're pausing vaccination sites in Tennessee, where this happened. Canceled flights are being blamed for delayed shipments of COVID-19 vaccines in multiple states. Officials in Illinois and Nevada are expecting delayed shipments because of the weather. Same for Florida. Then there's the concern about power outages. The Oregon Health Authority says they lost electricity to some freezers protecting COVID-19 vaccine doses, but they say it's too early to tell if any have gone to waste. When the power went out in Texas, officials scrambled to avoid throwing out more than 8,000 doses.
We were able to get these vaccines that needed to be utilized very quickly into arms and not waste them.
And Rice University students were quick to line up for a shot at a shot. As officials promise, delayed vaccinations will eventually get back on track. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The U.S. Navy has seized an illegal shipment of weapons off the coast of Somalia. The guided missile destroyer, the USS Winston S. Churchill, was doing a flag verification boarding on 2 stateless dhows last week. They ended up finding thousands of AK-47 assault rifles, light machine guns, heavy sniper rifles, rocket-propelled grenade launchers, and other weapons. The weapons were seized. The dhow crews were given food and water and then released. The Navy was not identified. The original source of the weapons. The mission was part of the USS's regular maritime security operations in the region. In an effort to offer relief to millions of homeowners struggling financially due to the pandemic, the Biden administration is extending COVID-19 mortgage relief. This announcement extends a foreclosure moratorium for homeowners with federally backed loans until the end of June. It also extends the window for homeowners of federally backed loans to request mortgage forbearance, which allows them to defer or reduce their mortgage payments until the end of June. Many of the protections put in place last spring were due to expire next month, leaving many at risk of falling further into debt and losing their homes. Still, the administration says more assistance is needed, especially for homeowners with loans backed by private lenders. President Biden's American Rescue Plan is currently being assembled into a final bill in Congress. It aims to provide more aid to all homeowners, including a $10 billion fund for states to help homeowners catch up on their mortgage and utility payments. A young girl hurt in a crash involving former Kansas City Chiefs coach is out of a coma. According to the family, 5-year-old Ariel woke up Monday night. The update was posted on the GoFundMe page started for Ariel's medical expenses. Authorities say Britt Reed, former linebackers coach for the Chiefs, was driving the truck on February 4th that hit the vehicle. She says he was admitted to having 2 or 3 drinks before driving and taking Adderall. No criminal charges have been filed.
Acquitted. The United States Senate voted to acquit Donald Trump for his second impeachment trial. Although members of both parties voted guilty in the most bipartisan vote in conviction in history, Republicans banded together to oppose the incitement charge. Nadia Ramirez in Washington, D.C. has more.
A historic day on Capitol Hill.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, guilty. Mrs. Blackburn. Mrs. Blackburn, not guilty.
President Trump is acquitted for a second time.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. We have no power to convict and disqualify a former office holder who is now a private citizen.
House impeachment managers say there was no doubt then President Donald Trump incited the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
Trump stormed our house with the mob he incited, and we defended our house.
Trump's defense team says the former president is not responsible for the rioters' actions.
The United States Senate decided, as they did, to protect our constitutional way of life and not go down the road of endless impeachments.
In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Charges have been dropped against a white woman who called police on a black man birdwatching in Central Park last year. On May 25th, Amy Cooper and Christian Cooper, of no relation, got into a confrontation in a wooded area of the park over her unleashed dog.
Please don't come close
Amy Cooper called 911 and said in a frantic tone that a black man had been threatening her. She has been charged with falsely reporting the incident in the 3rd degree. On Tuesday, the Manhattan District Attorney Office dropped the misdemeanor charge. They said that she has completed education and therapy classes on racial equality to their satisfaction, and the judges granted the motion to dismiss. Parler, the social network popular with conservatives that is banned last month, is now back online. On Monday, the homepage for the newly redesigned website reads, quote, "Speak freely and express yourself openly without fear of being displatformed for your view," end quote. Parler returns after revelations that some of the January 6 Capitol rioters had been organized on this platform. In response, major tech platforms like Amazon, Apple, and Google decided to no longer work with Parler, effectively cutting the company off from the public internet. The site also links to a community of guidelines document that explains that they will, quote, "will not knowingly allow itself to be used for a tool for crime, civil torts, or unlawful acts," end quote. The guideline still maintains the platform will try to remove as little content as possible. The website no longer appears to be a direct inbound traffic to Russian-based cloud services. Instead, Parler now directs traffic to an IP address linked to a California-based cloud service provider called SkySilk. New York State legislators are working to repeal some of Governor Andrew Cuomo's executive powers. Democratic lawmakers say a bill to do so will most likely be introduced this week. Governor Cuomo received an expanded power due to the pandemic. His administration has come under fire after the top aides said that the delay has released some of the coronavirus death tolls from people living in long-term care facilities. The aides stated that the delay was because concerns about potential federal investigation. Cuomo is now facing calls for an investigation and even impeachment. A vote is whether the repeal will be extended powers could come early as next week. That's all for national news. Now a peek outside with Caleb Yager as he gives a brief weather update. Then we have Rebecca Vaughn with business and entertainment news.
Hello, I'm Caleb Yager with WCTV. It's a cold, snowy, windy day here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and we recently received a winter weather advisory, but don't worry, we'll have all that covered for you right here on Channel 14 News.
A supersized superhero movie and Post Malone's Pokemon concert. David Daniel has details in today's Hollywood Minute.
I had a dream. Almost like a premonition.
Fans who've dreamed and clamored for the Snyder Cut of Justice League are rejoicing. The first trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League hit the web Sunday and racked up millions of views on YouTube within hours. Snyder walked away from directing the superhero flick in 2017 after a family tragedy. Now, his extended cut of the movie is set to debut on HBO Max March 18th.
I never would have guessed we would be here today, after 25 years.
Post Malone is headlining a virtual concert with a twist. It's launching the 25th anniversary celebration for Pokemon, and the singer and rapper will be appropriately animated for the occasion. The free show on Pokemon Day, February 27th, can be seen on the official Pokemon YouTube and Twitch channels and on Pokemon's 25th anniversary website. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Godiva announced last month it was closing all of its 128 stores in North America. Now, a Swiss chocolate retailer has announced it will take some of the Godiva stores in the U.S. Ladderock produces premium chocolate in Switzerland and currently has 4 stores in the Northeast. The company has signed an asset purchase agreement to assume the leases for 34 Godiva locations. The companies are not disclosing any other details about their agreement. Godiva lovers will still be able to order online or through a retailer that stocks the chocolate in their stores. Or, once the coronavirus is under control, you can get Godiva by traveling to Europe, the Middle East, or China. This is the first full week of tax season, and there are a few changes this year. The IRS says it's working to make sure you get your refund and any remaining stimulus payments quickly. In today's Consumer Watch, Mandy Gaither has 3 things you should know before you file.
How will the pandemic impact your taxes? For taxpayers hoping for deductions, credits, and COVID-19 relief on their 2020 contributions, experts say file early.
Last year was a big year and, they're just trying to gather all their documents. So I always say if you do have a business, make sure that from the beginning you're working with a professional.
If you didn't already receive COVID relief payments from the federal government, filing your taxes will be the best way to get that money if you're eligible. The IRS expects more than 150 million returns will be filed this year and recommends you file electronically. Experts also say it's important to know when to seek professional help.
I do believe that TurboTax or those other providers will suffice, and they are very easy and very cost effective. But as soon as you have a business, rental properties, seek professional advice.
Here's a look at 3 tax breaks you may be eligible for the first time due to COVID. 1, Congress has made changes to tax benefits like the Earned Income Tax Credit, and they've created new ones to give people and small business owners some pandemic relief. 2, small business owners who received a tax-free forgiven PPP loan may still deduct the business expenses they paid for with their money. And 3, if you're self-employed, you may be eligible to claim a new sick leave and family leave tax credit that was created by the family's first Coronavirus Response Act. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
As of now, there is no indication the deadline for filing will be extended, as it was last year in the pandemic. So plan on filing by April 15th or requesting an extension. That's all we have for your business and entertainment update. Jack Hillgrove will have your sports update coming up next.
Hello again and welcome to the WCTV Sports Desk. I'm Jack Hillgrove. The Waynesburg wrestling team finally was able to compete in a match this season as they beat Garrett College on Friday. Our anchor Adam Morgante has the recap.
It's been over a year since the Waynesburg wrestling team has been able to compete on the mats, but tonight they rolled their competition and defeated Garrett College 24-12. After the President's Athletic Conference canceled Waynesburg's match against Teal in the PAC Championships, Waynesburg had to find other opponents to compete with. they were able to schedule a match against Garrett College, which is a community college in Maryland. Sophomore Colby Morris had the most impressive triumph of the night. He beat Trey Winnell, who's a Division I transfer from Edinburgh University, 6-2. Morris knows what he did well to get the victory.
Definitely defense, and on top, I definitely could have been way more offensive, but I wasn't, and that'll come with getting more match time.
Sophomore Rocky McGeary wrestled in 2 matches. He was victorious in both of them. He had a 3-1 decision against Damon Lemon and a pinfall against Connor Saladin. McGeary is glad to get back on the mat.
It feels really good. I mean, we haven't really had the opportunity like most people in the country, so just being able to get out and compete and watch my team compete really feels good.
Head coach Ron Headley has something he wants to take away from the match.
Yeah, just believing in their stuff. I think each of the guys have stuff that they can do. Just once we get in, I think just putting them in situations where they can be confident, and in their abilities to do that. And I think, spread the gap a little bit.
Rolling up the mat for WCTV Sports, I'm Adam Morgante.
The next match for the Waynesburg wrestling team is to be determined as the search for an opponent continues. We'll stick with wrestling, but shift to the high school level. Congratulations to the Waynesburg Central High School Raiders on winning their 2nd consecutive WPIAL title on Saturday. The Raiders beat the Seneca Valley Raiders 67-3 to take home the Class 3A championship. Back to university sports, the men's basketball team here at Waynesburg hosted the St. Vincent Bearcats on Saturday, and I had the story.
Shamar Bennett almost single-handedly bringing St. Vincent back into this one here.
And that he did. The senior forward for St. Vincent had 26 points in the 71-64 win over Waynesburg on Saturday. Waynesburg was up by 9 points at one point in the second half, but St. Vincent's 17-0 run immediately after was the story of the game. Jackets head coach Tim Fusina blames that on bad offensive possessions.
Thought we were too fast. Even though we had a lead, I thought we took some quick shots that went in, and you can't live that way.
Leading the way for Waynesburg was Isaiah Alonzo with 23 points. He had a scary moment in the second half going down with an injury, but after the game, Fusina said as it pertains to Alonzo,
he's fine.
For WCTV Sports, I'm Jack Hillgrove. That loss drops Waynesburg to 0-3 on the 2021 season. Waynesburg's next game is on the road Wednesday against new PAC member Franciscan. Tip-off is at 6:30. The Waynesburg women's basketball team also lost to St. Vincent on Saturday 82-64, but 2 silver linings emerged in the form of freshmen. Avery Robinson had 23 points on 9 for 10 from the field shooting, and Marley Wolf had 22 points. The Lady Jays will take on Franciscan at home this Wednesday with tip-off scheduled for 5:30 on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. The Pittsburgh Penguins are back on the ice tonight as they host the Washington Capitals at 7 o'clock in the second game of the series. The Pens won the first game on Sunday 6-3, which makes them 3-0 against the Caps this season. The Penguins have 15 points on the season and sit in 5th place in the East Division. We close sports today with some very sad news as former Pro Bowl wide receiver Vincent Jackson was found dead on Monday in his Florida hotel room with a cause of death yet to be determined. He was 38. Jackson, a 3-time Pro Bowler who played for the Chargers from 2005 to 2011 and the Buccaneers from 2012 to 2016. That's all from the WCTV Sports Desk. Caleb Yager has the weather next right here on WCTV.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the 2nd floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
Hello, I'm Caleb Yager with your Channel 14 weather report. It is currently 24 degrees here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. We did receive a winter storm warning not too long ago, and the snow has started to come down a little bit today. But looking ahead to tomorrow, it's calling for a high of 27 degrees and a low of 23 degrees with mostly cloudy skies as the forecast. Thursday's high temperature will warm up a bit, but snow showers are being called for. The high will be 32 degrees and the low will be 27. We can expect to see some morning snow showers on Friday with winds up to 11 miles per hour throughout the day. The high and low temperatures will be 30 and 13 degrees. On Saturday, we can expect a cold one. The high temperature will be 25 degrees and the low can go down to as little as 8 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies is the forecast. We can expect mostly cloudy skies on Sunday the 21st as well with a high and low temperature of 39 and 33 degrees. As we head into Monday of next week, a mix of rain and snow may be heading our way. The high temperature will be 40 degrees and the low temperature will be 34 degrees. Finally, a week from today, next Tuesday, the high temperature will warm up to 42 degrees with a low of 34 degrees and morning snow showers as the forecast. I'm Caleb Yager, and this has been your extended weather forecast right here on Channel 14 News.
You know, Adam, we get a lot of heat for having really unpredictable weather out here in Western PA, but nothing is as unpredictable as Texas weather right now.
Yeah, Texas got a lot of snow yesterday, and I saw in some areas the temperature was as low as 11 degrees, something that definitely people from Texas don't expect around, especially in the winter when it's normally a warm climate.
It's absolutely a culture shock for those, but that is all we have for you tonight.
Stay tuned next week for Channel 14 News. Have a good night.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.